Howdy y'all, welcome. Hope everybody's doing well out there so far. After such a wild night of severe weather, flooding, and even a winter storm that rolled through the Ohio Valley last night, we can see the storm reports is mainly just a big old windbag event. Flooding going on over here in Kentucky. Hardly no tornado reports. And we can see the 24-hour precipitation analysis here on Pivotal Weather, right around 3 inches with locally higher amounts from northeastern Arkansas all the way up into Kentucky. Now, I know there has been a few deaths from the flooding that occurred last night, at least 3 in Kentucky. And I know a child is among the 3 that were killed. I think there was more that were killed in this bad flooding last night. And we can see here on CocoRa's, this is the rain reporting and precipitation reporting network. You can see the red dots are 3+ inches of rain, right around 4 inches, and locally higher amounts in some areas as well. So mainly it was a big night last night for weather. And as we rewind this to yesterday, we can see all that precipitation that fell in Kentucky. It was just a record-setting event last night with very few tornadoes, surprisingly, after it was pretty much an overhyped event, mainly a windbag event. But as we take a look at the alert map here, we can see that going from severe weather and flooding to some winter weather and some freezing weather, especially up here in the Dakotas. So let's go ahead and take a look at the temperature, since that's what y'all most likely came here for. And before we do that, we're going to take a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly map, which shows us basically our troughs and ridges. Don't know what that means. Basically, a trough is associated with bad weather. Ridge is associated with good weather in most cases. We can see, of course, got that trough coming down because we're getting in on this major storm system that's going to be moving out and bringing the cold air with it. You can see we're dealing with that as we head into the 20th. Cold air is going to be coming down as a potential polar vortex is going to be affecting us by the 20th. And we're going to remain in this potential cold pattern for quite a while. You can see the millibars here coming down, means some very chilly air for quite some time actually, and some dry weather too. At least up until the end of February and into March. You can see that we're going to be coming in on a little bit of a ridge, which could mean the warm air is being funneling up towards the north here. And then we're going to be coming in on an active weather pattern it's looking like as we head into March. So let's actually go ahead and take a look at the temperatures first. Now we can see that warm air getting pushed out because of that storm system that brought flooding to Kentucky and Tennessee and Arkansas and severely down south, and even a surprising winter storm this morning. We got in on right around 2 inches of snow this morning. That was a sight for sore eyes, and it's looking like that's going to stick around for quite some time. We have a polar vortex coming down, as I mentioned earlier. It's looking like this chill air is coming back and it's sticking around for a while, and it's not looking like it's going to be going away, at least up until we head into March. As we can see, we're coming to a slight warm-up down in Texas as we head into the 24th, so that's some good news if you live down there. But really much of the country is remaining in this chilly pattern all the way into March. We can see March 1st, 70-degree temperatures as far north as Indiana, so any snowfall that occurs between now and March is going to be sticking around, y'all, unfortunately. We can see today, of course, we got lingering snow showers over the Ohio Valley and Northeast, with some ice occurring over here by Vermont and New Hampshire. Northwest getting in on the occasional snow that you always get up there, especially in Idaho. And it's looking like our next winter storm is going to be occurring as we head into the 18th. As far as snow totals go, I would expect probably right around 3 to 6 inches. You see this here on the National Weather Service map. See, winter storm watches have already been issued in this area here. This is for right around 3 to 6 inches of snow. It could be some icing down in Oklahoma and parts of Arkansas as well. So watch out for this. I will go ahead and issue a bread and milk watch. It basically means go out there and get that bread and milk if you feel inclined to go get it, but it's not really necessary right now. But I'd be advised to go get it just in case if you need it. And that's going to be pushing eastward into Indiana and Ohio and much of the east and northeastern part of the country. And that's finally going to be getting out, and it's looking like it's going to be drying out for much of the country as we head into the 21st, although it's going to be very chilly that day. We can see negative to single-digit temperatures in store for really much of the country as we head into the 21st. And it's going to be dry on top of that, and it's looking like it's going to remain dry for quite a while. Southern states coming in on some rain, especially down by Florida. And it's not looking like any precipitation is going to be in store, at least until we head into March, where it's looking like our next concerning storm system is going to be possible amongst the central and eastern part of the country with severe weather down in Arkansas and Texas, and blizzard-like conditions up by Minnesota into the Dakotas. Now, this is well over 300 and some hours out. This will change between now and then. I'll keep y'all posted on this. This is well too far out to show you any snow totals or predict timing of severe weather, because there's not even a risk for that, obviously. And of course, this far out is la land when it comes to the models. As we head on over to the Climate Prediction Center, I'm going to take a look at the precipitation first. We can see, of course, much of the country is heading into a below average precipitation pattern, except for in far southern Texas, far southern and central Florida, and the Northwest. And as far as Alaska goes, I didn't cover y'all, but it's looking like southeast is going to be above average, and the far northern part of Alaska is going to be below average. So it's looking like after this storm system rolls through, and this next upcoming snowstorm rolls through, it's looking like we're not going to be getting in on any sort of precipitation for quite some time, at least as we head into the beginning of March. And as we can see here in the 8 to 14 day outlook, really much of the same story. Northeast is going to be heading into an above average precipitation pattern, so pretty spot on with that. As far as temperatures go, we can see the cold air is going to be coming back, as much of the central and eastern and northeastern part of the country is going to be heading into a way below average temperature pattern, while the western half of the country is coming in on a little bit of an above average pattern. Now keep in mind, even though it says above average, that doesn't mean it's going to be warm. It just means a little bit above average for this time of year. You can still get in on 10-degree temperatures, for example, and still be above average, surprisingly. So keep that in mind. Next 8 to 14 days, it's looking like we're heading back into a little bit of a warming trend as above average temperatures creep its way towards the east, as we're going to be coming in on negative degree temperatures into 70-degree temperatures as we head into the beginning weeks of March. So that's something to look forward to, and I will have a spring outlook video up by Saturday. As we can see here, hopefully y'all can see this, zoom in so y'all can see it. But La Nina conditions are expected to persist in the near term and transition into a neutral pattern as we head into March, into May. And that's why I'm going to have a spring outlook video up by Saturday. We're breaking down what this could mean as far as severe weather season goes, whether or not it's going to be good for those plants in the gardens, and whether or not it's going to be a soggy spring, because this winter has been pretty wet. And according to folklore, they're saying if February gives much snow, a fine summer it doth bestow. This reflects the old belief that a snowy February might predict a pleasant summer, also a pleasant spring as well, though meteorologically it's not always accurate, of course. Basically, I think that spring is probably going to be a hectic season for severe weather, just like last year. Retimber predicted this as well, but I'll be providing more information in that video, so make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss that video. So in summary, basically what I'm saying is prepare for cold in the short term, but it's not going to last, because beginning of March is looking to start to warm up a little bit, so look forward to that. But please, can't stress this enough, please bundle up, prepare for the cold weather, and prepare for this potential upcoming snowstorm that could be in store as we head into Tuesday and on Wednesday, and lasting all the way into potentially this weekend, especially if you live up here in the Northeast. As about 3 to 6 inches is going to be possible with locally higher amounts, so just definitely keep this in mind. This is all the way into this coming weekend, so I'll be providing a bread and milk watch for this area here all the way through this coming weekend, and I will be monitoring this to see if any changes will be in store. So definitely brace for another potential winter storm. This could be our last winter storm of the season. Don't quote me on this, but it could be our last major winter storm of the season, as warm air is going to be coming back as we head into March. Now, shifting gears here, since President's Day is tomorrow, put together a fun fact for y'all. Originally, President's Day was established to honor Washington's birthday, which is on February 22nd. However, in 1971, the Uniform Monday Holiday Act was passed, shifting the celebration to the third Monday in February. This move was intended to create more 3-day weekends for the workers, but it also informally broadened the holiday to honor Lincoln, whose birthday fell on February 12th, and eventually all U.S. presidents. However, the official name of the holiday remains Washington's birthday according to federal law. And here's some President's Day facts and folklore put together too. Now, originally established to honor Washington's birthday on February 22nd, it was declared a federal holiday, like I mentioned earlier, in 1879. And it goes into detail about the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, which was established in 1971. And this all basically goes into detail about how President's Day came about. Basically, it was once to celebrate Washington's birthday. Now it's just to celebrate all the presidents. Y'all can pause the video and read this if you want to, but basically it just goes over that. Now here's some folklore about President's Day. The cherry tree myth, perhaps the most famous piece of folklore about Washington, involves him confessing to chopping down his father's cherry tree, saying, "I cannot tell a lie." This story was fabricated by Mason Locke Weems, one of Washington's early biographers, to illustrate Washington's honesty. And did you know that the national tradition on President's Day is to have a cherry pie because of Washington chopping down the cherry tree? I'm sure y'all probably most likely did not know that. Now, another piece of folklore is Washington's teeth. There's a myth that his teeth were made of wood, and in reality, he had teeth issues, but wore dentures that were made from ivory, gold, lead, and human or animal teeth, but never wood. Now, there are some parades that go on because of Washington. Before the Uniform Holiday Act, many towns and cities held parades and celebrations specifically for Washington, part of the President's Day celebrations. Now, of course, President's Day is a big marketing day because they gotta sell those beds and they gotta sell those RVs and they gotta say $5 for this or $5 for that, and that's basically what that goes into. And we can basically see that President's Day is just basically a day of celebrating all of our U.S. presidents and our current president, which is fixing up the corruption up there in our government, which is well needed. And as we get into this week in weather history here at the end of February, we can see that back in 1962, the southeastern part of South Dakota experienced a record-setting snow with snowfall amounts ranging from 30 to 50 inches. A significant snowstorm occurred from the 20th into the 22nd, with 10 inches reported in some areas. 1912 saw severe snowstorms in Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, with snowbanks up to 5 feet high, severely impacting travel and infrastructure. And there was also flooding in February. Back in '69 in Boston, they experienced the 100-hour storm from February 25th to noon on the 28th, with over 26 inches of snow at Logan Airport, making it one of the most significant snowstorms in Boston's history. Surprisingly enough, there was tornadoes back in February in '07 on the 24th, and a EF3 tornado struck Dumas, Arkansas, causing injuries but no fatalities. Just like yesterday, there was no fatalities, and I don't think there was hardly any tornadoes, so it was just mainly a big old windbag event. Now, some wartime weather history. Y'all find this one fascinating. Back in World War II in 1942, in Omaha, Nebraska, they were hit by a significant snowstorm on the 23rd with over 13 inches of snow. The storm happened amidst wartime restrictions on sharing detailed weather information, which was seen as potential strategic intelligence for enemies. And this here breaks it down in more detail about how we kept weather records secret because we didn't want the enemy knowing what our weather was like, because we wanted to keep the enemy on its heels. So basically that's what that goes into. So that's this week in weather history and some President's Day facts and folklore y'all most likely did not know. So hopefully y'all enjoyed today's weather forecast. If you did, make sure you hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. And also leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with bell notifications turned on, because at Here Williams Weather, we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. And also have a normal channel if you want to check that out. It's Williams WX98. Greatly appreciate it if y'all check that out as well. So basically, short term, it's looking like we could be coming into a very snowy and cold weather pattern, but as we head into March, could be starting to dry out and remain chilly. But a warm-up is in store as we head into the beginning weeks of March, so look forward to that. And I will have a spring outlook video up in my next video, which will most likely be on Saturday, breaking down this INSO neutral pattern. So look forward to that, as we could be coming in on a very soggy and stormy spring. So again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day, and until next time, never stop forecasting.